guys, I'm Cam,
I'm Kev.
and welcome to the Nerd Mix. We're a couple of audio engineers talk about the nerdy world. In today's mix, we're diving into Marvel Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 5. Let's get into it. Alright, my general impressions of the game was that it's a 10 out of 10. The game was solid, it was perfect, the sound design was A1 sauce, chef's kiss. I don't know, man, what'd you think?
Yeah. Fucking 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10.
Which is it, man? 9 or 10 out of 10? Alright, let's meet in the middle ground. 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Alright.
I absolutely love the game. It's miles better than Miles Morales. No pun. But
Pun intended.
so this game basically improved on absolutely everything that the first game and Miles did. This is as good of a sequel as God of War Ragnarok was to God of War. Like, this is going to go down as one of my favorite games.
Definitely. My opinion, I think it should win Game of the Year. Like, for example, the combat was really well done. I was talking with my cousin about the game the other day, and one of our conversation topics was the fact that the combos, for when you can like string your combos, it was easier to get off those high count combos than it was compared to like the first game. That's in my general opinion. I could have just been really bad at it, but I feel like you got more punches off, you got more combos off, you were able to do a lot more stuff a little more fluidly compared to like the first game, where like dodges they were a little more confining, you know, in the first game, in my opinion. But it's been a while since I played that game.
But no, I agree with you. So for me, they streamlined a lot of combat.
Mm-hmm.
So there's, in the first game, a lot of the variability between players was what gadgets you wanted to use.
Mm-hmm.
This, you had 4 gadgets.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And they just progressively got better.
Yeah.
And then same with the powers. Like, so there are 8 powers. Spider-Man technically has 9.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's got
the Venom abilities.
Yeah. He's got X. Well, I guess he's got 10 because he has the anti-venom bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And he has the jump up in the air spike.
Yeah.
That's different between Venom and anti-venom.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I didn't notice the difference in that, because honestly,
when you got the anti-venom suit, they those were the 2 abilities that tutorials for you.
Well, you had the spike one where he like blew himself up.
That's circle.
Yeah.
So X.
Yeah, the X one was where he blew himself up too. He pulled you into the air and then blew you up, and then the circle one was another one.
Yeah, but you only get that with anti-venom. You didn't get it until anti-venom.
Oh, you're not talking about the one where he dives into the person that splats him on the wall.
Yeah, that was triangle.
Okay, I got confused there.
Yeah. Triangle was the same, circle was the same between venom and anti-venom.
Right.
It was square adds it's the punch.
Mm-hmm.
Like the venom punch where he just huge tendril slams him into the wall.
Yeah.
The square is the bomb, which is way better.
Oh, definitely.
And then X was, I don't even remember what it was for Venom, but for anti-venom, that was the jump in the air and spike. That was also way better.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think for Peter, his abilities were solid, especially the anti-venom abilities, but I really enjoyed the lightning abilities on Miles a lot better, the venom blasts. When he got the uppercut, when he did the what was it? When he did the Mr. Negative mission where he was fighting with Mr. Negative in Peter's mind and he got the electric uppercut. Oh my god, dude. I utilized the crap out of that.
No, I never switched back to any of the regular Venom powers. Every time we got an upgrade, besides when you lose the Venom suit, Spider-Man has to go back to the mechanical arms. I never went backwards.
Mm-hmm.
I never switched back to like the lower
Oh, you didn't?
of the powers, except for triangle, because I did not like the dive for the anti-venom power.
Yeah.
Or venom power in general.
Yeah.
Compared to the upgraded spider dash,
Mm-hmm.
I could kill 10 guys.
Yeah.
In just one button press, because it would web them and just stick them to the wall.
Oh yeah, but Miles
versus the like dive, it didn't do that.
No, I think, okay, for me personally, I feel like yes, Peter had a better area of effects abilities and stuff like that, but Miles's were really good at knocking people out, especially like the one where he jumps up in the air and then punches the ground again and electrifies people. That one, it was the circle one. That one was chef's kiss. I'm sorry, man. And then
that isn't that the evolved ability? Oh no. Oh, you're right. So the evolved ability was for circle. That's the punch in the ground. The evolved one is bring him in.
Yeah.
So if you do the bring him in, which does a fuckload of damage.
Yeah.
So I would do the bring him in, and then I would do his square.
His square where he punched people. His jump into the punch, or because that's the only one I used.
Evolved square.
It was
lightning.
an explosion.
No, it was lightning. It was.
Lightning. Yeah. Where he lightning and like it spread to people if you upgraded it.
Yeah.
I did the punch. The punch did better for me. I liked the venom punch where he just jumps.
The upgraded venom punch was probably better. I just never used it.
Oh my god, you got to use it, man. Because like if you punch, like for me, like the time I used it the most was either on regular brutes or with like the symbiote brutes. I would just like do some combos, jump into the venom punch with Miles. And then after you upgrade it, it would spread out to other characters if you got it good enough. And then if you KO'd smaller characters, it would spread, the lightning. And then the evolved Venom uppercut one where he knocks them into the air. If you follow up with some combos, like some aerial combos, it shoots lightning out at other people. I was like, the is
uppercut
freaking awesome. And then I paired that with a venom punch. Bam! Straight into the wall. Web him up. There you go. Fight's done.
So, that uppercut with when you upgrade it and get the ground pound where it explodes outward.
Yeah.
So, the last trophy I needed was Miles. Kill people with evolved venom powers.
Yeah.
And I was having a bitch of a time.
Nice.
And that's why I said I like that. That was what I liked, grouping people up with the circle. So I would use circle, bring them in. It would kill a couple guys, but then I would uppercut one of those guys that got brought in, and then slam him down, and then it would kill like 10 guys. And so I needed 30 kills or KOs before I got that last trophy.
Yeah.
And that just I went into a Mysterio room that had no. It was like kill people with finishers.
Yeah.
So I could just keep
endlessly
fighting people.
Yeah.
And
I kept spamming. You know what I did with that one? I used the explosion, the R3, L3 buttons, his Venom explosion. I did that. If you upgrade it all the way, it refills your focus bar the way up. And I had gotten my focus bar to I had 3 of them.
Yeah.
So I did that explosion and just did that. But when you were talking about like the bring 'em in combo, I just thought about it. I should have thought about it before, where you bring them in and then do the R3 L3 and then blow them up. That would have been so sick. Oh, I have to go home and try that after this.
I mean, you could still just use the gadget, which was my go-to gadget.
Oh, the one where it brings them in? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
it insta-kill, it insta-kills the green symbiotes.
Did it?
If you shoot webbing at the green symbiotes, they insta-die. That was their weakness because...
everything.
Yeah, you can't hit them. You got to shoot the webbing at them.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the only way to knock them out. I was like, why are they dodging all my attacks?
I would waste finishers on them. Because,
you got to shoot them.
Like, would piss me off so much.
You got to shoot webbing at them, dude. It was...
Like, I needed health so badly, but
Mm-hmm.
I had like 15 green guys, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
all right, I guess I'm using my health to kill you
Yeah.
because
No.
I need to get rid of you.
You got to shoot them with webbing. Like I got surrounded with like 5 of them at one time when I was doing the symbiote nest, and I was like just running away from all the yellow dudes, like shooting all of them with the freaking webbing, and they were like, "Ew, dead. He's dead." You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't believe I did that sound effect. Ew, I'm messing with you. But yeah, like they insta died to the webbing, and then I don't know if you knew this, but like the purple dudes who shot the projectiles, the purple symbiotes, when you press triangle to grapple towards them, they dodge out of your way. So
Yeah.
the best way to get them was to just pull them in.
Yeah.
You know, so I would.
Yeah,
kinda,
that and the ricochet.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, because that hits upgraded, it hits like 10 guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll multiple hit people too
Mm-hmm.
if it doesn't have targets. And then so that was the only way that you could actually web up brutes for me, because even with a maxed out web spray,
Mm-hmm.
like I couldn't whip them.
Yeah. The brutes were annoying to deal with. Honestly, the best way, like hindsight, probably would have been like the yanks, because after you upgrade the yank, you can slam them down. You know,
I never used the yank.
I didn't
all.
until the end.
So in the first game, yank was like my go-to. I would yank weapons away from people and smack them back into people. I never did it once in this game.
Yeah, because they changed the mechanic on it. It wasn't just like in the first one. I think you were able to just automatically, if they had weapons, it would automatically yank the weapon if you held triangle. In this one, if you held triangle, it yanked them towards you with their weapon.
Yeah.
So you had to press R1 to yank their weapon out and whip it back at them.
Yeah.
And it took me a minute to get used to that, but I liked it. I appreciated it a little more, because like in the first one, I didn't always want to yank them towards me, because then if they were ready to shoot me, like with their pistols, you yank them towards you, somebody else punches you, and then they just pop you right there at point blank. You know what I'm saying? So it was annoying, but this one was better. Overall, like we said before, this game is either a 10 out of 10 or a 9.5 out of 10. The sound design, especially as an engineer who wants to get into video games, you know, currently I do post, but man, that was some top tier sound design. Like, I really appreciated the freaking sonic bombs, the way that, like, even when I had the 3D audio headset on for the PS5, it was
rocking the pulses.
Oh my
Same.
god, dude, it was great. And even if I was facing away from it, you know, like you just hearing the pulse in the background, it was really well done. Like, this game definitely deserves Game of the Year, in my opinion.
Yeah, the dynamic music was fantastic.
Yeah.
There were a couple points where, when playing as Miles, he has the more hip hop track. When I went to visit the grave, like for that part of the story, when I stood around for a second, it stuck on the same four bar loop for 6 bars, and I was like, all right, and then that was the point where I started analyzing the music a little bit more, because I was just like realizing what they were doing for the dynamic music and how, like, it's basically picking and choosing different bars depending on what you're doing. But yeah, it was just stuck on the same 4 bar loop, and I was like, and then once you start moving around, it started playing into more, but I was just like, all right. But it was still phenomenal.
And then, like, the idea that they incorporated his love for technology and music and made it a thing, like, that really touched home to me, because that was like really awesome just to see, like, oh, I want to go into audio tech. I was like, that's my guy right there. The story was freaking awesome. There was lots of hits and nods towards different types of, like, Spider-Man lore, like with, like, the comic books from this main line of comics from 616 to the Ultimate Comics 1610, and dude, even the TV show. Like, I know when they said that in the interviews, like, oh, we're gonna have somebody as Venom, like you've never seen as Venom before. I was like, Well, that's a lie because we've seen Harry as Venom in the Ultimates TV show. But, like, you know, not everybody watched that show as a kid. And, like, I even rewatched it before the game came out. I was like, Harry as Venom is, like, the whole staple, a lot of that entire show, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I was so convinced based on them saying we've never seen this Venom before.
Yeah.
Them giving us that statue, which I have, but that 19-inch statue where Venom is 3 to 4 times the size of Miles and Peter.
Yeah.
And then seeing how big the lizard was in this game, I was convinced that Connors was going to become Venom.
I don't know why, though. He didn't have a tail. I was like, wait a minute. Where's the tail, though? If it's going to be him, where's the tail? But, I get you.
Yeah, well, I also thought, like, Connors himself is a decent part of the game.
Yeah.
But the lizard isn't.
No. And those lizard missions, I got my ass kicked.
Oh my god.
I died 4 times to the Venom fight. The worst fight that I died the most on, I think was what was it? Was it Craven? I think it was either Craven when Peter's fighting Craven with the symbiote. I think I may have died a couple times on that one. That one, and then when Miles was fighting Peter. I only died 3 times on that one. But the lizard was intense, man. That freaking, oh my god, dude.
I was playing on the hardest available difficulty. I hated my life in that fight.
I bet you did, man.
The timing window I could not get for the parries. And also, why would you train us on... So, red means dodge.
Dodge.
Is what they train you.
Yeah.
And then they start introducing, if you see yellow first, that means when you see red next, that's parry.
Yeah.
What the actual fuck? And then blue means dodge again?
Yes.
And my brain...
or jump.
With, like... When those hunters show up with the hammer, like the big hunters show up and they introduce, I guess they introduced that mechanic earlier, but the big hunters never do an attack that you can just dodge.
Yeah.
And then you're sitting there just going, okay, parry, parry, parry. And then you're missing dodge windows because you're trying to hit parry. And then you're like, well, I need to dodge because I'm fighting 15 other small guys.
Yeah.
And parrying window is like non-existent for those and isn't as effective as just dodging. And then you're sitting there like, wait, red, nope, died. Shit.
You could, this is the best game where I've had the parrying system, in my opinion. Otherwise, every other game I played with the parry system, I absolutely hate it. I always dodge out of the way because I hate parrying.
Oh, I love parrying, but in this game I hated it.
Fighting in all the red attacks you can parry. The only ones that you could not parry were the blue ones, which frustrated the crap out of me.
Oh yeah,
because I tried to parry. Lizard... almost all his attacks were blue at one point.
So I did the flame. Like the second to last mission pops before Connors, like before you fight the lizard.
Yeah,
I went and did that, which is the first time you can encounter, like when you fight Yuri, she does the blue.
Yeah,
I had no idea what that meant because it assumed it already gave them a tutorial in the lizard fight. I just dodged everything.
Yeah,
because I was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I got through Yuri's fight, and then I go do the lizard, and then it gives me the tutorial for what blue means, and I could not dodge shit.
I hated the Yuri fight with an intensity. I was like, why am I dying to her? Why? And I was just like, wait a minute, I'm doing all this stuff. Why aren't my gadgets refilling? I hated that initial Yuri fight. It was annoying.
All right. I guess if you're listening to this, hopefully you played the game. We haven't. This is full spoilers, obviously.
Yeah.
But so Yuri from the first game, if you haven't played the first game and you've only played this game, she was the police detective. That
Yeah,
you
she was.
alongside.
She was the detective or lead
Yeah,
detective.
she was a big part of the first
Yeah.
game. She was Peter's contact within the police.
Yeah.
This game gets rid of working with the police at all
Yeah.
because world happened.
Yeah.
People were upset retrospectively with the first game about that.
Yeah.
But I mean, whatever. But
Yeah.
so Yuri being a detective, this is following up. I completely forgot about the flame in the first game. Like, I forgot Cletus was in the first game. I forgot that was Cletus until basically the fight with Yuri, because like he pops up at the first flame mission and I'm sitting there going, I don't know who this is. Wow. And then like as I'm playing the game and getting further in the game, I'm like, oh yeah, that was a whole side quest. I forgot completely. I mean, it's been what, 5 years?
Oh jeez, 2018. Oh man.
So 5 years.
Yeah, about 5 years. Yeah,
2018.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so yeah, in the first game, I guess should have been expected that Cletus was going to be this game. I knew Yuri was going to be this game because that game ends when you do her quest line of her quitting the police force, becoming a vigilante that kills people.
Yeah.
And you're going around trying to solve these murders.
Yeah.
And you're like, and then you realize it's Yuri.
Yeah.
But was that in the DLC?
It was in the DLC.
That was in Sleep.
Yeah.
The City That Never Sleeps.
I think it was. Yeah, that one. It was well done.
Yeah.
I didn't play that one until recently. I know I suck, but I didn't play it when it first dropped. But it was cool to see that they continued that storyline. I was completely caught off guard. I was like, wait a minute, this got to be Cletus Cassidy. This has to be Cletus Cassidy because this there's no other way that this isn't Cletus. And then when you do that last flame mission when the train lands on top of him,
yeah, obviously,
and then you get the symbiote, I was like, it's Cletus Cassidy. Oh,
well, and then
shit.
she's like, his various aliases, this name you don't know, and Cletus Cassidy, and
right?
like,
It's freaking Cletus Cassidy. Carnage, I bet you it's going to be DLC. In my opinion, it's got to be DLC. I don't think they're going to put it in the third game. And if they do, I mean, cool. But I don't want to wait till the third game. I would rather play it DLC.
Yeah.
Because
there's so much.
Yeah, we'll talk about third game later on in the episode. But man, that was awesome. But the best part in my opinion was the storyline with Venom. Oh.
Yeah.
Whoo! Them nods and them Easter eggs to like King in Black and like freaking Noel the symbiote god, Absolute Carnage, all of it, dude. Planet of the Symbiotes. Oh my god. I lost my shit when he like popped those wings and was like you had to fight him in the air. I was like, finally, this is fucking top tier like Venom right now. And then like when you first see him turn into Venom, like Harry turn into Venom, and you get to play as him and wreck shit, I was fucking everybody was gonna get some. There's what is this? The guy Comics Explained where he talks about if I had superpowers I'd be a villain. Oh my god, I was on my villain arc at that point, man. Oh my god, dude, I was fucking shit up. And that Craven fight where you get to bite his head off. Woo!
Yeah, that was brutal. There was so many deaths that I did not see coming.
Yeah.
What? Vulture dies off screen.
Off screen. Who Electro dies off screen.
Apparently, did they talk about him?
You don't talk about him, but like there's nods to it. I was talking to my cousin again. There was nods that they killed basically most of those Sinister Six characters.
There was when Miles escapes from the prison cell, that's all a trap. Yeah, so you see Vultures, you see Shocker.
Yeah, Shocker's dead.
Yeah, you see Alexi. Or not Alexi. You see
Electro.
Matt Gargan.
Matt
Sorry.
Gargan. Yeah, Matt Gargan.
But
He's dead.
I don't remember seeing Electro's name on any of those cells. It's Mr. Negative.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Mr. Lee.
Yeah, but he's wow. He's
Not wrong.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. His last name is Lee, but I'm convinced Electro's dead. I'll have to go back and double check, but if he's not dead, but Rhino's alive, you still got Rhino, you still got Sandman. In my opinion,
I really like that quest line.
Yeah,
I'm sitting there staring at each of those pieces of rock, going, "This has to be something."
Yeah.
And then finally got the one that had his face.
Yeah,
and I was like,
these are
"Oh, it's a statue."
Yeah,
and then I went back into the collections menu and realized it was slowly building, and you can toggle through each one and see it slowly build.
Oh wow!
And I was like, "Oh, this is fucking cool."
Yeah.
And
that would be a cool
leave it to the
collectible
daughter.
if they dropped that later on, like as something you could purchase, because they did that for the shoes. Adidas did a collab with the game and made some shoes.
Oh,
sold out like fast as fuck, but they got shoes. And don't get me started on that last suit for Miles. What were they thinking on that suit? I'm sorry, I hated that suit so much. That last suit for the story,
I liked it.
bruh. He looks like a freshman in high school, and my dude's about to graduate and go to freaking college, and you got him this stupid ass suit. I'm sorry, I hated it.
I mean, like he looked cool as shit with the dreads coming through.
Okay, I mean, yeah, it's cool to have the dreads popping out through his costume, but like, I don't know, man. I thought it was, I didn't like it. In my opinion, I didn't like it. What I did like were the anime, nods in that fight with him and Peter. So the scene where he jumps on top of the tendrils, it's a nod towards Ultra Instinct. I saw it. I was watching TikTok earlier, and somebody pointed it out, and I was like, these have to be an Easter egg towards something, because these are like some really iconic moves he's pulling. So when he Ultra Instinct Goku, when he first popped it fighting, I think it was Khalifa or something like that, she shot a power beam at him, and he was powering up his Kamehameha wave. He jumps on top and rides the beam while holding the Kamehameha wave ball, and then gets point blank and shoots her in the face with it, right? So Miles does the same, except he's got his electricity going, and he basically skirts across the tendrils towards Peter, punches him with a freaking electric punch to the face, and then they throw each other in the air, and when he shoots the electricity back down towards the ground, that was a Bakugo nod from My Hero Academia. So when Midoriya, I think his name is, Midoriya and Bakugo were fighting, they were in midair, and Bakugo did something where he grabbed him, grappled him, shot his blast in the air, and shot them back down on the ground and pins him. It's like shot for shot, basically the same. I was like, Miles is an anime nerd. There we go. He's got it. He's got it going. That's my boy right there. But yeah, Miles. I think it also puts an end to the argument. Who's better, Miles or Peter? Miles is better. Just saying, he would whoop Peter's ass. Obviously he did. Peter wasn't holding back. He was trying to kill Miles. Miles is over here holding back. Imagine they were both bloodlusted.
Yeah, I don't know.
We know who would win that fight. Just saying.
I don't know. But yeah.
Come on, man. Who do you think would win that fight? Come on, be honest. Be honest.
I mean, fucking Peter with an anti-venom suit is miles stronger than
he got manhandled.
Stronger.
He got manhandled
when he's got the venom suit. In game, when you're playing Spider-Man anti-venom,
he's not
fair. There you don't fight anyone besides symbiotes at that point anyway. But Peter's so much stronger.
He's got the same strength as a Venom symbiote suit, like that he had when he had Venom on. He had the exact same strength. Yeah, it's just now he's poisonous to Venom symbiotes.
Yeah, but he's also more analytical versus Venom just going kill, 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 kill.
He was analytical. I can do, but yet I don't know. Like somebody who's bloodlusted, I feel is more. I don't know. Me personally, I think that's somebody more dangerous. But I guess somebody who's analytical,
it's dangerous in a way, but
methodical. Yeah, I guess you're right. But still,
berserkers always lose to the one dude who stays calm.
Okay, but Miles is analytical. He thinks about his stuff before he does it, you know. And plus, I mean, even in the comics, Miles' enhanced venom attacks, he can make a freaking lightsaber now. Like, have you seen that? Where he like basically turns his electricity into a freaking lightsaber and starts fighting shit. Like, I'm sorry, we're not talking about that right now. We're not. I'll stay on topic, but yeah, it's great. Even when you see Agent Venom and them talking about it.
Yeah, no, that was like, So when that scene came for me, I was wearing Spider-Man Tactical, like the Secret Wars Civil War costume. I had the white version of that on. And then Harry comes in wearing basically just like a counterpoint to that. And I was like, this is fucking sweet. And then I kind of got worried because, like, when he copies the spider symbol, and I was like, did he copy just the symbol based on the suit I was wearing? Or would that have been a different symbol? Because it's a weird looking spider symbol on the Agent Venom suit. But yeah, I was like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was really awesome. I feel like I even liked them talking about Flash, and he's the original Agent Venom.
Yeah.
So I liked those Easter eggs and those nods towards like, oh, Flash. We're not forgetting that Flash was, you know, the OG Agent Venom. But like Harry doing it was super cool.
Yeah.
And him putting hands on Craven, that was hilarious. That was like, damn, dude. Like, is he gonna give him a break? Like, Jesus, he's beating the bricks off this dude. Good God. And yeah, the Agent Venom, and then when we finally got Anti-Venom, I kind of wished if we had got Anti-Venom that instead of him, like, you know, doing what he did before where he goes berserk and just basically one-shots everybody, if we got, like, OG Anti-Venom where, like, he basically hulks out into, like, so Anti-Venom in the original when he was first debuted, it's similar, like, Mr.
It was
Negative.
Eddie Brock, though, right?
Yeah, it was Eddie Brock, but Mr. Negative was the reason that Eddie Brock turned in because he had cancer.
Which I should have seen coming because I saw that coming when we played the first game, or when I played the first game. I knew eventually because you bring in Mr. Negative, his biggest impact on the comics is Anti-Venom.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, so if they do a Venom storyline, we're going to get Anti-Venom at some point. But yeah, so I should have saw that coming again.
But have you seen the pictures of the OG Anti-Venom?
Well, I mean, it looks like Venom.
Scarier. Just scarier. A little bit. Dude doesn't got the tongue. He's like, his mouth looks like it's on fire.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
It's like all red on the inside, and his eyes are red too. It's kind of like, in my opinion, that picture of like the OG Anti-Venom compared to like Venom when they're like he's got his tongue out and all that. I'm like, I'd be more scared of Anti-Venom. Like that would have been cool. Like had Peter just lost his shit fighting Harry, and they both like he basically Venom's out but it's Anti-Venom and it's like the scary version of it. That would have been cool to see. That would have been cool. Really cool. Like two giant Venoms fighting each other.
I got so fucking hyped when Anti-Venom got pulled up. I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, going back to Venom, playing as Venom. Were you popping finishers like all the time?
Yes.
The back break.
Oh.
Dude, that was so brutal. I felt bad for every single hunter I snapped and Oscorp guard. Like, I was like, oh no.
Right. I was kind of expecting a finisher where he was like smashes him, kind of like he did
like
the Hulk one where he smashes the guy.
Hulk stuff. Like,
but like if
this was like as good of playing Hulk as we've ever gotten.
Yeah. But it would have been great if he, like, for the last part when he looks at the guy, if he just bit his head off. That would have been cool.
He does have one where he bites a dude. He doesn't bite their head completely off, but one of his finishers is picks him up and just chomps on him and then slams him into the ground.
Oh, God.
But like,
I wish I had done that part.
Because the guy is still whole, you're like, okay, he's probably dead. Might be alive. Don't know.
Right.
He's ICU.
Right. Yeah,
Dude
definitely.
gets, like, the people that get literally folded in half backwards.
Yeah,
I
they're
was
dead.
like, oh
They're
no.
dead. There ain't no way they alive. My favorite one was where you got to grab them, like press R1, you grab them, and
That was
I was
fun.
like bashing them into into other dudes, and
I
then
love
you just tossed
yeah.
them.
Yep.
I would just be like, you know what? You're not worth me like over here beating the shit out of you. I'm just gonna toss you over the ledge. This 300-foot story drop. I'm just gonna like bye bye. I threw one dude into the electrical field like bam, like that was hilarious. He like
I
legit
accidentally did that.
shook and electrified and then fell 300 feet. I was like, that's hilarious. That was great. Yeah, that was. I still think like the best boss fight was Harry Venom versus Craven. That even the cinematics in that when he's walking out of the fire, that was sick.
Yeah.
That was like super dope, man. Like I should have took a picture of that. Posted it as my
all the Craven
screensaver.
boss fights were great, but yeah, that especially like when he would launch the rockets, because fighting him as Miles, you felt outclassed.
Yeah.
Like you felt completely outclassed fighting him as Miles.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm kind of hanging in there, but you didn't feel like you were winning.
Yeah.
And then you play as Venom, and it's just the opposite of like Craven's just going, like, I don't stand a chance against this.
Yeah.
Like the missile barrage.
Yeah.
You reflect that back, blow up the banisters that he's standing on, or the scaffolding he's standing on. Every time. So satisfying.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. It very much felt like a Craven's Last Hunt thing, especially with his death wish. Like I like how they tied that in there. You know,
it was
like,
100% Craven's Last Hunt.
Yeah, like the dude was like, I think they even name dropped it too, didn't they? Say it was like,
well, yeah, he kept talking about he's trying to do his last hunt basically, and then when you do the hunter blinds and then go through that,
I thought the DLC was going to be his kids coming back for revenge, but
well, at least his daughter, who is,
but she's dead.
Yeah. Well, maybe not.
He popped her. What do you mean, maybe not?
He didn't pop her. He was in New York. Like all those recordings are him in New York. He was just saying you need to leave. You'd have to, like, if you want to get to me, you're gonna have to leave the country in one piece, and then you just hear the gunshot. So basically, he set a trap for her. But like, was that one of his people? Did she survive that? We don't know. Yeah. But for sure, his other kids are dead because she killed them.
And his wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
But
I mean, it'd be cool because
she is scary as shit in the comics too, right?
Like I don't think he has a daughter in the comics. I know, like OG Craven is dead, and like you got this new. I could be wrong. I haven't read the recent comics.
I thought his daughter is the second Craven.
No, it's another. It's his son. It's Craven Jr. basically.
Oh,
there's like because like in the comics right now, at least from what I've seen on the Comics Explained. I know I need to read it. Don't judge me, guys. But Craven he was like, oh, that's my dad, and he was like, oh, my dad like basically put you in the ground. So they reference Craven's Last Hunt, and then he brings the reason Peter is hunting him is because he tried to bring back OG Goblin in Norman with the Golden Goblin and all that stuff, but he ends up hitting Peter instead with the Sins of the Goblin or something like that. So Peter's evil, but he hasn't killed anybody yet, and he's like hunting.
Oh, that's what's going on right now. Where Peter's kind of a dick. Everyone's upset with him, type thing. Yeah, yeah.
Like he's more than a dick. Like dude is like borderline psychopath. Like good grief. Like it was insane. He like scared the shit out of Craven. Like it. So in the OG Craven's Last Hunt, Craven hunts Spider-Man, puts him in the grave, and all that other stuff. Peter comes back, and then like Craven kills himself. In this one, it's like reversed. So now Peter's hunting him as evil Peter, and like Craven's scared shitless, like just running all over the place. And I think they said like, "Oh, your dad did this to me. You think you're like your dad, but you're not your dad." Or like he's either a clone or it's his son. One of the two. I could be wrong. I'll read the comic and find out. But it's pretty cool. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Back to the Last Hunt thing. I'm glad they didn't have it where he killed himself. and that he got
Actually,
yeah.
I mean, that is Craven's Last Hunt is Batman Nightfall for Bane, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
Like it is their defining
Yeah.
story. So obviously that's what they're going to pull
Yeah.
from. Because even Spider-Man animated series was mostly based on Craven's Last Hunt.
Yeah.
Like all of the Craven story in
Yeah.
that. Because it's just him coming up being this unstoppable menace, and you're just like, what?
Similar. It's kind of like Craven's Last Hunt, the OG animated series. It's like that, but
Well,
then
I'm saying, it's like that's where they're pulling from, because that's where Craven's scary as shit.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, pretty much. Craven is scary as shit in that. I agree. Yeah, I feel like the DLC will be cool if they do add his daughter. That would be really cool. Add a twist, like we get a Craven, but it's his daughter, because I think the ultimate, like the Sinister Six, like at the end of the game when you see Norman walk up to Otto, I think they're just alluding to Sinister Six, because I mean, like,
well, we already got the Sinister Six.
Yeah, you got the Sinister Six, but like, what else could they be alluding to? Like an even better one? Because
I mean, you have Green Goblin, you have
Otto.
You have
Rhino
Superior
still.
Spider-Man.
I mean, yeah, you could have a Superior Spider-Man, but like, how? You know, like, how
That
would
was
you do
Otto's
that?
end game. So, if this is because they're setting this up, like Spider-Man 3 is going to be the last Insomniac Spider-Man game, more than likely.
Possibly. You think
they're setting it up like they even call it that, like they in the game, like Otto's things are the last act or whatever, like whatever his final words, like what he says, but he sets it up as this is the end of the trilogy. I mean, most game companies are going to do trilogies because video game cycles are way too long. But like, and it would lock the studio into
you would think
only
God of
doing
War would
Spider-Man.
have just stuck with the trilogies, but you know, we ain't talking about them today.
But yeah, so yeah, I could see Superior Spider-Man.
That'd be cool.
There's obviously other Doc Ock stories, but
yeah. Well, there was like the final chapter, like I looked it up too. Like there was a legit Spider-Man story where like it's called Spider-Man the final chapter or something like that.
Okay.
It's where that iconic scene of where like this building is buried on top of Peter, and he has to muster up all his strength to lift it up and all that other stuff. There's that one. I think Otto was a big part of that story. I could be wrong. I gotta double check. But yeah, I think that could be what they're alluding to.
We better get Goblin as the big bad, not as the initial bad guy.
Definitely gonna be Goblin as the big bad. And like, I think they're like, I think it's not going to be what people think. Like, you know how in the Ultimate TV show and even in the Ultimate comics, like Goblin like legit turned into a legit goblin, was breathing fire.
Well, that's Ultimate. That's not.
But I mean, they got Easter eggs of it on the poster boards. Like if you're swinging through, I think it was like Queens or something like that. If you get close to Queens or where Peter's house is, there's like a painting or a graffiti art of Norman with horns and breathing fire.
Oh.
But I feel like this game is so tech-based that it might be a mixture of the two.
Oh. Well, I think they'll go more traditional route, but so him with the cane, like when he freaks out and then is like, I'm going to take the Gollum serum or I'm going to give it to Harry, well, like whatever they're deciding to do. And he says like, get the G serum ready.
Yeah.
So Harry's cane's gold. It's got the gold.
You think it's gonna be Golden Goblin?
I have a feeling. I don't want it.
Like, I hope they don't do that.
I don't want it.
That'd be terrible. That would be
Before
terrible.
they give us Green Goblin, if they give us Gold Goblin, I would be pretty pissed.
Yeah,
but I could see it.
I mean, what if it's also an illusion, like in a like Hobgoblin? What if we get a Hobgoblin?
They can't give us Hobgoblin before we get Green Goblin. That just doesn't make sense.
They gave us Hobgoblin in the animated series before we got Green Goblin.
Did they?
Yeah, in the old '90s series, Hobgoblin was the first one. Mark Hamill was the voice. You had you had Hobgoblin as his goblin villain, and it was some rich no, not rich
No.
dude. It was a guy who was posing as a rich guy, but
Yeah. Hobgoblin's a thief.
yeah.
Like,
But it was
who just really is fucking insane. But
the first goblin we got was Hobgoblin, and then Norman became Green Goblin later. I think it was because of Hobgoblin that he became Green Goblin. I could be wrong. But yeah, we had Hobgoblin first in the animated series. Then we got Green Goblin.
oh shit, did not remember that.
It was cool. I hope we get Green Goblin first. I don't know, like I had this debate with my cousin. Like we were talking about it and he was like, "Oh, I want it to be like the Ultimates comics where we get like a Hulk version of Green Goblin where he breathes fire or throws fire at people and all this other." I'm like, this game series is so tech based that it's probably just going to be
I don't want. I like the Ultimate version of Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool to me, but we haven't gotten a normal Green Goblin in decades.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
I could
we
agree with that.
get weird hairy versions. Like, I mean, Hairy Green Goblin is the obviously it's not the most iconic one, but it was the more dangerous one. No. I mean, yeah, that's one we. But no, even in the animated series when he like Harry, Harry comes back as the second Goblin after Norman dies.
Yeah,
like that's the normal. Sam Raimi followed that tradition. Just for some reason didn't put him in the armor and gave him some awful outfit.
Yeah,
like, but Norman being Green Goblin, then Harry being Green Goblin is the normal transition. Ultimates changed it, like you said. Harry becoming Hobgoblin instead, but following the tradition of Norman gets brutally beaten by Spider-Man, and then Harry. So like they're going opposite direction this time a little bit because Harry was the villain first. Yeah. This time. Yeah. Now Norman is.
It could be back to it could be a situation they could have it where like you got Harry as the villain as Venom, and then you get Norman as Green Goblin, and then Harry wakes up out of his coma, finds out Norman's dead, and hears that it was Spider-Man. He could fall back into a villain again and become the next Goblin too.
Yeah,
because in the he could be Hobgoblin, because that's what they did in the Ultimate. He was Hobgoblin, you know.
I want him to be Green Goblin.
You want him to be Green Goblin?
I mean, they made him Venom already, so it's whatever. But
yeah.
What
did you think of the Mysterio stuff,
dude? That was such a good side quest. Like, I didn't like that. These were my least favorite challenges out of either of the other games. Like, I hated the ones in Miles, but they at least had more variety. Yeah. This was just kill so many people. One of them just had, they get a shield halfway through and you have to just punch Mysterio. Yeah. But there was no variation between them. It was so cool. The DDR minigame for the first one was fun. Yeah. Not great, but it was fun. Yeah. It was a little Final Fantasy VII. Reminded me of the honeybee and not as good. But I wish there was more variation where it was like, swing kick people or web yank people. That was a pain in the ass, but it was fun to try to puzzle it out. This was just kill people. It made the challenge, like getting the trophies, easier because I just had infinite enemies, but whatever. I did like that you didn't need gold rank to finish the quest line this time.
I agree.
Because
some of them I couldn't get the gold rank on. I mean, I'm just an average gamer.
With max abilities, you definitely could. Because, like, just sending out your gadgets, like ricochet webs and web yank and all that, like, you would instantly refill your abilities, instantly refill your finishers, then just keep like cycling between everything. You wipe everyone out. Like I went into that one to get Miles's, expecting to take forever.
Mhm.
I got gold. I didn't have gold.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting gold. Killing like 30 guys in addition to the 6 I needed to kill for a finisher. I finished it in like a minute. And I was like, all right. I could go and do the other ones. I got gold on the 2 no-hit ones because I just kept restarting every time I would get hit.
Yeah.
But those were the ones I was like, I will never do those ones again.
Yeah.
But like I was prepared to go back and do all of the getting gold rank, and then realized that wasn't a trophy.
Right.
There was no progression locked to it. There was nothing.
Yeah.
It just gave you some hero coins that I could have used to unlock stuff way earlier. Because I was waiting, like I couldn't get the last couple upgrades until basically just before the final fight because I wasn't getting them until the Carnage Tower, or not Carnage, the Symbiote Towers popped.
I feel like those were fun. I think the best, it would have been cool too. It reminded me a lot of like the whole Taskmaster missions from the first one. Those were fun.
That had a better payoff.
Yeah.
The Symbiote Towers had no payoff at all.
No.
Which was very disappointing.
Yeah. It was
the only side quest that had no payoff.
I think you got a suit at the end of it, didn't you?
I think you got King in Black, maybe,
Yeah,
for
I
Miles.
think so. Yeah.
But it wasn't like a Miles specific thing.
No,
and then
it
you
wasn't.
just kind of randomly got that suit.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It could have been handled better. The Symbiote Towers could have been handled better.
Like the Emily May Foundation side quests, those mini games were fun.
Yeah.
I didn't need 4 of the bees.
Yeah.
That was
I enjoyed the
least
bees
fun,
a lot, but yeah.
But that was the least fun out of all of, and then the other ones you only got 1.
Yeah.
Like I liked except the final one. I liked the hex puzzle, like the
one where you got
just matching the
gene splicing one?
Gene splicing. I kind of liked that puzzle. Wasn't great, but it was.
I hated that one.
It was easy for the most part because it would give you a starting point. That final one in just the hex shape, that took me like an hour.
Yeah,
but because I'm sitting there, I was like, well, there's only one H. It has to be in one of the, like, it needs an H. Yeah. And I put it in every space. I was like, it doesn't work in any of them.
Right.
But like I liked, for the most part, I liked the puzzle. Like Miles is mainly puzzle. Peter got to do it sometimes of the like isolation, like destroying the corrupted like.
Oh yeah, the what was that? Was it DNA something? I forgot what it was. But I know which one you're talking about. Where you had to destroy those like orange, the red ones.
Yeah, yellow were safe. Just don't destroy green.
Yeah.
Once I understood, it destroys the next one, and then it'll. It'll. Oh god, brain fart. It'll like destroy everything left off the chain. That was satisfying. Blowing up one and then seeing everything destroy. Those
were fun. I liked those more than the gene splicing, to be honest.
That was the best of the repeating puzzles.
Yeah.
But still, why would those the only 2 repeating puzzles? Like,
I mean, there weren't that many repeating puzzles in the first one. There was like one where you had to like.
I liked that original puzzle.
Yeah.
Insomniacs, I tend to like Insomniacs minigames. Like, I love the mini games that they had in Ratchet and Clank. Like,
those were fun.
Yeah,
those are always fun.
Yeah, they're almost always fun.
Yeah,
some aren't great, but they're at least always like fun puzzles to do. But the lazier of the ones are always just, we're gonna give you an arcade shooter.
Yeah,
and you're like, that's not a puzzle.
Yeah, it's true. Like the bees were fun for me because I just like mindlessly flying around and shooting shit sometimes. It's just, a break.
Yeah.
But I get your point. You're pretty right.
Give me the bike one again.
Yeah.
It was stupid.
Yeah.
It was not good. But I wanted to do a second one.
Yeah. I enjoyed running people over with the bike.
Once you got the boost,
yeah.
I was expecting to do it again, where it's like, hey, Peter, we tweaked it.
Yeah.
Do you want to try it again? And then it's like, worse.
Yeah. That would have been funny.
That.
Yeah.
It was that had no follow-up. There was another one that didn't have follow-up.
The Doctor Strange? No, I'm messing with you.
Oh, my God. Oh, I love that so much.
It was so cool.
Once she said Wanda Fatum, I was like, no fucking way.
Yeah. I was hoping we were going to get an Easter, like he actually shows up, but no.
Yeah, when the portal was outside of I was like, oh, I'm like, Doctor Strange is about to just walk out? Are you fucking kidding me right now?
They have to do something with that. They got to do something with that.
The team up with Black Cat was so good. That was the best team up attacks.
Yeah.
Like, better than Yuri's, better than Spider-Man's.
Definitely.
Which, they only had, like, I only got them to trigger, like, 2 or 3 animations between the two Spider-Man. Yeah. It was weird.
I liked her team up better, but, Black Cat is bae. You know what I'm saying?
God, she's so good.
She's great.
But with the portals, it was so damn cool. That chase was so fun. That was the best chase.
Yeah. I agree.
Way better than Lizard's chase.
Yeah.
Like, dude, going between going to Antarctica and then having the goons later going, she dropped our guys in Antarctica.
That was pretty funny. I will agree. That was pretty funny. I would love to have seen Doctor Strange actually show up. I wish we had seen more Doctor Strange, because had he shown up in that fight, it would have made the game even better, in my opinion. Like, we could have been able to, like, fight with Doctor Strange. He could have did something really cool to just show that it's not just Easter eggs and we don't see these characters at all. Because, like from the first one, I wanted to see some Avengers. Like, you see Taskmaster talking about it. He's using Captain America's skills against you.
Yeah, and Hawkeyes and
Black Widows. Like, it would have been cool to see that in there, in my opinion. But, I mean, then again, it wouldn't have just been a Spider-Man game. So I kind of get why they didn't do it, but still.
Yeah, I mean, Black Cat's only in a portion of it. Just having him also show up for that fight. Getting the note was awesome. Yeah. Like, getting the note from Wong just saying, the doctor and I thank you. Sorry we were in Nepal. We just got back. Like, I loved that. But seeing more people. I mean, now the Fantastic Four live in New York. They are there now. Reed is just built the Baxter Building, or bought the Baxter Building, and is refurbishing it to be his lab.
Yeah, it used to be
painted the damn 4 on the roof.
Yeah,
so cool. But yeah, actually seeing more. I missed in this game the level of Easter eggs. They might still be there. I don't know, but the level of Easter eggs that the first game had
for other characters.
Yeah. Like Matt Murdock's practice. I don't know if that still exists in Hell Kitchen.
You still got Rand Industries. They name dropped it too. When Genki and Miles were talking about it, he was like, I think he said something to the effect where, like, I got the Rand scholarship or something like that.
Oh yeah, he did.
So you still got, like, Heroes for Hire, Easter eggs. You still got Iron Fist. I wish
like
they had
the
given
Avengers
more.
Tower exists.
Yeah,
but there was nothing there. There wasn't a Spider-Bot up there.
Yeah,
there was a Spider-Bot on the Fantastic Four, and I was hoping for, like, a Fantastic Four outfit. Future Foundation's great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. They had it in the first one. Why didn't they
get the costume?
Yeah. Even Bombastic Bagman. We could have had a Mr.
I mean, I understand Bagman. Not putting Bombastic, like, not putting those costumes because they're like, the Fantastic Four just now starting to exist. We're kind of just, like, nixing that from the first game.
Yeah.
I get that. The Future Foundation costume
is
still, like, that would be fine. But I understand not putting Bombastic Bagman in. Like, I do get that. But getting the Spider-Bot, be bombastic Batman would have been way better. Like, that would have been the best Easter egg to me.
Yeah, that would have been cool. But with those spider bots, it's a good segue that we're talking about this because, like, there was no bombastic Batman in the Into the Spider-Verse, and all those spider bots were characters we saw in the movies. I mean, in the movie, except for Ghost Spider.
Was there not a bombastic Batman in the credits to Into the Spider-Verse where Insomniac Spider-Man costume also was?
I don't think there was. I have to go back and rewatch that movie. I have to rewatch because I know that there was the PS4 Spider-Man.
Well, yeah,
but there wasn't. I don't think there was bombastic Batman.
I thought there was.
He may have been in Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
But still, even when you got all, you got all the Spider? So,
yeah, I platinumed the game, so I've done everything.
So, like, with that whole portal, that bar that we saw, that has to be. What was the name of it? Bar with no name. It has to be, man.
Yeah, like what I instantly thought of was that bar Doctor Strange goes to at the end of What If, or like for the finale of What If.
That would have been cooler. But did they even give that bar a name though?
That's what. Couldn't find it.
I know, right?
Is it the bar with no name? I don't know. Possibly. I thought it was the bar at the end of the world, but I think that's the DC thing.
Maybe I haven't heard of that one. I don't know. I don't know. DC
that's where like Detective Chimp hangs out, and like other like
magical characters.
Oh,
okay. Is that the name of the bar at the end of the world? I have to look it up. That's a DC talk day.
Yeah,
it'll probably. Have to educate me.
Yeah. So, and then what was her name? Delilah.
Yeah.
So Delilah looked like a PlayStation 1 Spider-Man character.
Oh, definitely.
I was like,
honestly, I think she had more of the vibe from the actual animated movie. She looked to me like she was from the movie.
No,
like
she was polygons.
She was polygons?
Yeah. She was like Lara Croft, sorry. Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, oh my god. Lara Croft Tomb Raider 1, like polygons.
Okay. All right, I'll have to go back and double check because to me it looked like she was from the movie. Like it looked like she was animated.
Well, the portal was from the movie. The portal was 100% from the movie.
Yeah,
she was PlayStation 1 graphics though.
Okay.
Intentionally, like obviously not like, oh my god, the game had PlayStation 1 graphics.
So you think they're gonna like tie in? They're gonna go super meta and just tie in all the old trash, even the trash and good ones games into this? Yeah, Spider-Man 3.
I mean, totally could, but I doubt it. But like, I mean, she talks about Miguel, like, and Miguel's team. Like, she's someone else. She's not part of Miguel's operation, basically.
No, definitely not. I think she's a bad guy.
I mean, could be if it's the bar with no name.
It's a bad guy bar. You know? And
totally.
Yeah, I mean that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. What would be even cooler is if Wolverine tied it into the Spider-Man 3 game. Because we already know Wolverine's coming out soon. And it's going to be a badass game. I think that should be rated M, because the best Wolverine is, a R-rated Wolverine. Because he can dismember fools. I want to see Wolverine dismember fools. So, he could tie into the game, but you could PG him down. Like, you could do Deadpool. What was the name of that? PG-13 Deadpool. It doesn't matter. He could still tie into Spider-Man 3 and have a cool cameo scene in it like they did in Web of Shadows. Because if he ties into Spider-Man 3, you get Wolverine. And if they don't do Carnage as a DLC and they save him for Spider-Man 3, which would suck unless that game's coming out in like 2 years, we could have like a Venomized Wolverine or Carnage covered Wolverine, absolute Carnage, because that storyline in the comics was insane, and like a lot of people got covered with Carnage symbiotes. So if they do that, then we could have a bloodlusted Carnage Wolverine. What do you think?
Well, I don't think it'll go there, but because we kind of got absolute Carnage in this game, like we got as close to absolute Carnage I think we're gonna get.
Yeah,
but obviously just starring Venom instead.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, no, I can't wait for the Wolverine game. I have no idea what it's going to be. I don't know if they'll do open world. That running around as Wolverine, I don't think
Just
would be
give
that
him-
fun.
If you give him his motorcycle.
40, yeah, like if. But so, what is the game gonna be? Is it gonna be GTA with Wolverine? Like that'll be kind of weird.
True. I mean, I think it'll be like a Weapon X. Wolverine like fighting like Weapon X or something like that.
Yeah,
you know,
like if it's level based, we've seen that, but I don't know if Insomniac's going to approach in the same way we've got in every other Wolverine game.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if maybe they'll try to do something new.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Spider-Man wasn't exactly something new. They stuck to
Yeah.
the Spider-Man formula, just doing it way better.
Yeah.
But so maybe that is what we get for Wolverine. But like, yeah, I hope it's them. It can be teen. We've gotten great PG-13 Wolverine.
Yes.
Like X2, he kills people. Everyone's like, no, he doesn't.
No, he straight
up kills people.
Yeah, he straight up killed.
There's just not a lot of blood.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's not.
But
fully
Wolverine
dismembering.
dismembered. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, you might be right. He might just do like the whole stab X2 style, stab him in the face real quick, but you don't see the blood and just that's it.
Yeah, or like little blood puffs, like this game.
Yeah.
There was blood in this game.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
There's just not like fountains of blood.
Yeah.
It's not Devil May Cry.
Yeah. How do you think they would work that whole healing factor though? Because like,
well, that's why. Yeah, you always hope.
Mm-hmm.
Like the X-Men Last Stand, or not Last Stand. X-Men Origins Wolverine, the video game of it. It almost delivered on that. Like, it's a good game, way better than the movie. Like it's so much better than the movie, and like the game. I remember reading that Game Informer cover of like, this thing's going to go straight down to the skeleton and then regenerate back. It basically delivered that. Like, the regeneration in that game is unreal. But so hopefully we get that. I won't be mad if we don't.
right.
I trust Insomniac.
Mm-hmm.
They are one of my favorite studios, so I trust them implicitly for this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how it'll tie into Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
This was the time to set it up.
Mm-hmm.
There's no plot threads.
No.
There's nothing. He's in Canada, or
Probably Canada.
yeah, more than likely Canada.
Yeah.
He's off in the woods somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no mention of the
Easter
X-Men.
eggs,
There's
yeah.
no nothing.
Yeah.
So who knows? I hope they tie it in.
Mm-hmm.
Who, like, Carnage could go mess with him instead. That'd be interesting, but
Interesting. Yeah.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead, man.
So let's talk about those end scenes,
Okay.
or just the ending in general.
Yeah.
Like, obviously we talked about Harry and Norman.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to go on to the Goblin. That's kind of the first scene. But that final scene, that final after the credits scene.
Was Cindy Moon?
Yeah.
Oh man. You see, in the comics, like, she was like a alternate lover.
Yeah.
She got bit by the same spider. It would be a missed opportunity if they didn't introduce Morlun and all those and the inheritors.
That honestly could be what the next game ends up being. Like, they could lead with an A story of Norman, which I don't want. I want him to be the main story because it's
Goblin.
the goddamn Green Goblin.
Yeah.
But yes, Morlun and the Spider-Verse.
They could just be DLC, or they could be like the Miles Morales game. They could have their own like mini game.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it could spin off. But yes. So, did you have any expectations about who Rio was, or Rio?
Rio.
who Rio was dating? Did you like? Were you like trying to like figure out who it could have been?
I could care less.
I figured it was gonna be a villain.
You thought it was gonna be a villain?
Yeah, I figured it was gonna be a villain.
It would have been weird, but I was like, what if it's his uncle?
Well, no, because it wouldn't have been, hey, Miles, I want to introduce you to someone.
True.
But
they did say, like, well, no, yeah, you're right. I want to introduce you to somebody.
But,
yeah,
so when he opens the door, and I was like, I don't know. And then all of a sudden, it just clicked even before they introduced Cindy, because, like, it just says, I'm, whatever moon.
Yeah.
And I was like, who is... And then it was Moon. No. And I was like, oh my God. And then all of a sudden he goes, I'd like to introduce you to my daughter, Cindy. And I was like, no fucking way.
Yeah. I mean,
I love Silk. Like, she's
Silk
so cool to me.
She's
has
cool, but
probably
she hasn't
the
been
coolest
well
outfit. Oh, no, she
hasn't been well written at all. But she has a dope ass outfit.
Yeah.
I agree.
I love that. I mean, I'm a sucker for that weird destined like, oh, like we are destined to be together thing.
Yeah.
Like,
what if she got bit by the same spider that bit Miles?
That could be.
What if they change it from Peter to Miles? And then they have there's a situation between like Miles's girl and Cindy.
That could be. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
But
instead of like
crazy.
a whole weird pheromone thing that like draws us together, it's just like, oh, I like you, Miles.
I think that's like, yeah, I don't think they're gonna go full what they did in the comics.
Yeah, I
think that's like I really like that in the comics.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't think they'll play
Yeah.
to a general audience.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna be like, that's kind of messed up.
Pretty much.
But
what if
God, dude,
Destiny plays
if it's Miles's, dude,
that'd be really sick, right?
That'd be really sick.
Yeah.
And I could see that being in the DLC.
Yeah.
Like doing,
or that Miles Morales 2 game, if they decide to.
Yeah.
Because I still think the DLC is going to be Carnage. Ain't no way they're going to give Carnage wait until Spider-Man 3 for that, because that'd be way too long for them to just leave that Easter egg hanging at the end, though.
Technically, this was built off of a side quest. Like I said, this was built off of a side quest from the first game.
But it was DLC in the first game.
Well, I don't know if
you said it was DLC in the first game.
No, that was the Flame Mission DLC though. Realizing that she was being a serial killer, that was DLC.
Yeah.
But was that Flame Mission that like drove her to stop being a cop, like to start taking the law into her own hands? I think that was in the original, because I kind of remember it being in the same area as you fight Tombstone, which was also
Tombstone was DLC, wasn't he?
God damn it!
Yeah.
Oh.
He was DLC, because I remember I played all the missions. I played all the side missions in the main game. You didn't fight Tombstone until DLC, I believe.
Oh God.
Yeah, you fought Hammerhead in DLC.
Yep.
You fought You didn't fight Black Cat, but Black Cat came in DLC.
Yep.
There was three DLCs. Silver Sable was in DLC, and I think that's where you fought Tombstone.
He was a side mission?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's where you fought him. I could be wrong.
You might be right. Because I mean, the city that never sleeps is over a few days, right?
Mm-hmm.
And was it over a few days, or was it over for like?
Which one was the Black Cat?
Well, the whole DLC is called City Never Sleeps. It was 3 episodes.
Oh, it was 3 episodes? I think it was a few. Now you got me thinking. It could either be a few days or a week. I don't think it was months.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it was months. I mean, again,
dude,
we could be wrong.
Like my memory is like mixing Miles's city into it too, because I'm thinking of Snow, which was obviously Miles's.
Oh yeah, definitely Miles. Yeah.
But
dude, Miles's game took place over like 2 days, I think.
Yeah. I think the original game took place over 2 days too.
Maybe. But yeah, back to the whole Cindy Moon and Morlun stuff. Like, well, yeah, we're so. Before we get back to that, the Carnage thing, I think will be DLC. You think it'll be in the third game?
Yeah.
We'll have to place bets and see what happens. We'll see.
So far out.
Cindy Moon and Miles, I think they're definitely going to give Miles his own second game again because we need to see what he does as his own Spider-Man with Peter being retired for a while. Unless the whole plot first half of Spider-Man 3 is just Miles as the only playable character, and then that second, third, or the last act of Spider-Man 3, Peter comes back because you ended the game before all the credits. Peter hangs up the suit. You know, he's retiring. He's going to spend time with MJ. And I think between that time, I'm getting really hyped thinking about this because, like, there was a storyline that sucked ass in the comics where, what's his name? Mephisto comes to MJ and Peter. He's like, one more day. I'll save MJ. You just got to give me your love. You know, you got to give me your relationship. And then you see that they gave up their daughter. And then they have another one called Renew Your Vows. I believe that's the name of the story where he says, fuck off to Mephisto. Aunt May dies like she did in this game. And MJ and him get married. They have their kid. And she's got spider powers, and something happens to MJ where she gets like abilities too. And it's still an ongoing comic book series to my knowledge too, and it's really good apparently. So I need to read that myself. But we could get that in Spider-Man 3. We could get either like some years have passed and she's like toddler learning how to use her spider abilities, or she's like they do a time skip or something like that, and at the end Peter, like, she's trying to be Spider-Man and Miles is training her and Peter's is dead at the end of Spider-Man 3, you know what I'm saying? Like, he sacrifices himself or something like that, and Miles is training her to be the new Spider person. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. But we still need the Inheritors to come in and fuck some shit up, you know? And I think that's going to happen in the Miles 2 game.
Yeah, I can see the Inheritors coming. Honestly, because doing it as a Miles game would make a lot of sense over a Peter game.
Yeah,
like that. If you're right about Cindy, that would make a lot of sense.
I will be an utter G if I'm right. You guys will have to give me $5 each.
Yeah. So, what'd you think of the Chameleon DLC? Or not DLC. I think he could come into DLC.
Oh, definitely he's going to be DLC. Definitely. That's why I think like all of when I said earlier, you said that his daughter might be alive, but I think they're all his kid and his wife are dead, and Chameleon's the one that comes up trying to finish what Kraven started. That could be it.
Could be. He doesn't.
He does say, "I'll finish what you started." You know. Yeah. And there was a comic book run where Chameleon tries to finish what Kraven, like, I think he
does it.
He blamed, yeah. I gotta find it. I'll come back and get the title for you. But at the end of Kraven's Last Hunt, you remember how he kills himself? Later on, we find out after that there's repercussions, and one of those repercussions is we find out Chameleon is Kraven's brother. And I think I could be wrong again. Leave it in the comments below. But he tries to finish off Spider-Man. You know, he's like, oh, you're the reason my brother died, so I'm going to try and kill you, you know, and ruin your life. So I think that's what they're going to have, a twisted version of that in the DLC. It's going to be some DLC where Chameleon, because he's not big enough to carry his own game. Like,
No. Like, I can see him just getting a bunch of side missions.
Yeah.
Same way as Tombstone.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't see him being the main villain
No.
of the DLC either.
Mm-mm.
But yeah,
that's why I think Carnage is going to be DLC.
I think he's too big for DLC.
He is, but like, you really think they're going to make fans wait that long?
Yes. How long have we already waited for Green Goblin?
You ain't wrong. But Green Goblin is bigger. And arguably, he's a bigger, you know, but has more history. He's like Spider-Man. He's the arch nemesis for Spider-Man. Every time he comes back, Peter and him do knockdown, drag out fights where like it is bloody, it is fucked up. He's arguably worse than Doc Ock, because Doc Ock is his second greatest villain in my opinion. Because who else knew about Peter Parker's identity besides Norman and Otto Octavius? Villain wise, like who figured it out like that? Outside of like the freaking MCU fiasco and Ultimate Comics, people figure like some people figuring out who Peter is and all this other stuff, and it's like the running thing lately is about everybody finding out Peter, but in the OG one, that was the closest kept secret, and not many people figured it out. It was a big problem when they did, and the two people who figured it out were always Green Goblin and Otto Octavius.
Yeah.
So I could see that being a main story. He could definitely carry his own game, but you think Carnage, until recently in the comics, could carry his own game? Like,
dude, Maximum Carnage.
Yeah, but like to carry a whole game, like a whole 20-hour plus game, Maximum Carnage style, we got that just now, like you said.
Well, we got Absolute Carnage, which was just Absolute without Carnage.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see, man. All right, man. So we've talked about the end of the game. We've talked about the beginning of the game. We've talked about the entire game. I do have another Spider-Man question for you.
On one more thing.
Yeah.
It's a little backtracking.
Okay.
So I don't know if you caught this during the final fight between Peter and Venom, when they like start the fight in the stadium. Peter lands one side. It does one of my favorite things in like media, where Peter lands and there's a feast banner behind him representing May, and then it cuts to Venom and it's got Oscorp behind him. Like it's this is, I'm gonna cut this out because it's such a tangent. Makes no sense, but like it is one of my favorite tropes of like Star Wars style. Like, we're gonna blue light over here, we're gonna red light over here. Like, I just loved it.
Yeah, it was cool. I agree, that was a pretty cool aspect. I didn't notice it at first, if I'm being completely honest.
No, that's why I wanted to point it out.
Yeah.
But all right, back to you.
Back to my question. All right, cool. So it was a question posed by Eris Quinones. It's probably an old question now. I saw it on TikTok. The question is, what would you rather keep? Batman, Mask of the Phantasm, or Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? It's a very controversial question that he posed. Me personally, I think Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is the better animated movie, but that's just me. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's easily Spider-Man. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. If you got rid of that, which is already a phenomenal movie, we would lose Across the Spider-Verse, which is like one of the best movies ever.
Yeah.
I mean, Into the Spider-Verse is already considered one of the best movies ever.
Yeah.
Mask of the Phantasm, it's great. There's a lot of love for it.
Yeah.
You lose that, we still have the entirety of Batman the Animated Series. And we still have the Mr. Freeze special.
True. Yeah, we still got the Mr. Freeze special, the Batwoman special with the silver suit.
Yeah.
That one I liked a little more, in my opinion. But that's
like,
me.
You have all of these groundbreaking things already. We don't lose that history if you just lose Mask of the Phantasm.
Yeah. I agree. Plus, Spider-Man is a better hero. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? People who disagree, oh well. That's just my opinion. You can tell me I'm wrong all you want. Spider-Man's better than Batman. I said it. That's right. And that wraps it up for this week. Alright guys, thanks for joining us for our first episode of the Nerd Mix. We'll catch you guys in the next mix. I'm Cam.
I'm Kev.
And see you guys next time. Peace.